that is, there are sociopaths. There are people, this part of the population that is saying, well, you're half human, and you can, you make a mistake. They're not understanding that the fundamental mistake we're talking about is a small percentage of the population that does not care about humanity.
They live in sleep. Rowdy, who the sociopaths and the paths that are 1% of the population that run them?
It's a good question, bud.
I'll kick your ass!
You have to be...
All right, let's begin!
You have to live within the system to be programmed.
Fight.
They have to at least get your senses in some way. And if they don't know where you are, and they don't know, like I didn't have it until I was 19 years old. The older pro wrestlers would tell me to do.
How did you fall into wrestling at a record age of 14, record young age?
15. I lived on the street for 2 years, and I was staying at a youth hostel. And the youth hostel was a YMCA, and I was the 167 amateur wrestling champion, and I boxed, and somebody just didn't show up in Winnipeg at the matches, and my amateur wrestling coach was a referee. He said, I can get you $25 if you want to fight this guy. I never seen a pro wrestling match in my life, but I came 15 minutes playing bagpipes, and I went to my band, and I said, what's going on? They said, we'll play here. Four bagpipes, a bass drummer with a big burly hat, 2 snares, and me come walking in, and I don't know if you remember Mr. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was his dad, Larry the Axe Henning, and, it was still sawdust on the floor. And he didn't much like my entrance. It was the shortest match in the history of the Winnipeg Arena. He beat me in 10 seconds. And when
So back then, it was like real wrestling. It wasn't just like ballet.
Let's turn up the heat.
There was this kid coming with all these bagpipers, and he was a top guy, and he just took me and beat me. He put my nose, split my eye, and they came and said, kid, you didn't know it. I was like, they put me in the van, I was stuck around the border, and I rolled every day until I was 19 in the auditorium in Los Angeles, and they finally got me a green card.
What did you think of the movie The Wrestler?
What did you think of the movie The Wrestler?
You weak, pathetic.
It's one of those things that, like, with David, with the conspiracies, and tying that all in, you gotta go deep. You have to have the courage to dive in and the faith. And with The Wrestler, I give Mickey Rourke a, thumbs up for portraying the character, but you just give the surface. You don't understand real programming, nor how ugly that gets day after day after day.
So wrestling in the early days was also, people a lot of times actually fighting, and then I guess it segued because of all the injuries into something that was more stylized.
Yeah, kind of. Let me just give you, I don't know if this applies, but let me try. When I was like 17 years old, there was this promoter, and when you got into the field, you had to go for town. You held out your hand, and the first thing he put in was $10 in quarters. And he would look at you, and then he'd put a $5 bill, and he'd look at you, and if you smiled, you'd stop. So they would tell you, don't smile, because he would program you. If you ever had a clicker to go into the arena because you used to get paid by the house, you'd be fired. If you asked questions about how much money was being drawn, you'd be fired in blackball.
I'll show you the divine
total control. Blackball 5 times. It doesn't bother me anymore. Because, and I think that there's a lot of people just around the world that are very confused because you can't just, they can't just figure out what it is. And that's where it comes to people like yourself, Alex and Sean, a little bit renegade. I am not the kind of people, I don't like to be told what to do, but at the same time, I like to try to do the right thing.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, Roddy Piper is our guest with Sean Stone, and we've only got like 15 minutes of the show, so we'll take you guys right to the end if you can do it. I want to take some phone calls. Rowdy, you ready to take some calls?
You betcha.
All right. Let's go to Will in Georgia. You're on the air with the legendary star of They Live.
That's a great movie, Rowdy. You did a good job. That was a true ministry. On the way they lived, they married into the Bay, part of the Bay there, to control the New York, LA, Sodom and Gomorrah, Access, Hollywood, Babylon. They stopped the states every morning on Saturday during working services, but everybody wasn't part of their tribe. Subhuman animals, cattle, just like every movie did there. And they actually put that, the preacher, the rabbi, would tell them that your job growing up from birth, they told them this, is to cheat, lie to, rob, enslave, and kill all the Gentiles.
All right, well, listen, do you have a specific question, sir?
Well, no, I mean, it's just, we're Whigs. America is, our focus has to be on the Creator, who's named the Sovereign of the United States, the Creator of the universe.
All right, well, listen, I appreciate your call. We've got questions or comments for our guest. We don't screen calls, so sometimes it becomes a soapbox, but there are always subgroups within culture that teach that we're the best, everybody else. I mean, look what we say about the Arabs when we go invade and attack them, and then, or what happened to the American Indians. I mean, this is something that goes through cultures everywhere. But, I mean, I guess the movie They Live does speak to class stratas, but I think it's about individuals being psychopaths and sociopaths, about how they can be black, they can be white, they can be German, they can be Jewish, they can be Chinese. There are people genetically, I think, who really aren't human.
Alex, I was going to ask, actually I wanted to ask Rowdy that because, I'm really curious to know where that story came from because Carpenter wrote it, and I mean, he must, in your interaction with him, I'm sure you came across some interesting discussions as to what he thought, who they really are, and does he really believe that they?
I am Rashid of the Turbulent Wind.
Exactly.
Remember the name well.
At that time in 88, I think it came out in 88, they was propaganda the world was shoving down our throats. But we talked a lot before we made this. I took it real serious. And I don't want to speak for John, but just the way I remember it is, again, I don't think that we're the only... I don't think we're the only source of energy in the universe by any means at all. And there's big committees right now getting together and talking about people, or things from other planets, aliens, whatever you want to call them, tall whites, grays, reptiles. And we weren't that detailed with it, but John and I both we don't think that we're alone in the universe. And I think that, and I ran across a doctor, a friend of mine, who didn't agree with me at all. I'm not amazing that would not see that far. You know what? Maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't know.
Well, also, speaking of Mr. Carpenter, who I would love to be on the fan of his work as well, obviously, his 1980, whatever year it was, The Thing, with Kurt Russell is so good. I mean, that is another amazing film.
Big time. John made a lot of films together. Here's just a little They Live note. The last Kurt Russell film, I think, with John was Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt was driving the semi with sunglasses on. Well, after that, he was finished. They had all those sunglasses back. That's the sunglasses you see in They Live. It's one of the most elongated room in the world. It's on the
story for They Live came from a short story, or did he have to come up with the story himself?
It's a short story called 8 O'Clock High. And,
that's right, the guy's still alive. We tried to get in contact with him.
I would love to speak with him.
Yeah, we want to get him on. He's still alive. He's got a website. Let's jam in one more call. We'll come back with one short segment. 25th anniversary, They Live. Roddy Piper is our guest. Unbelievable. Let's talk to Nick in Nevada. Nick, do you have a question or a comment for?
To speak with you on the air and also on the podcast as well on the topic that you and Alex have been discussing through your time here, and I appreciate you for that as well. My two questions for you are, sir, is one, did you expect the movie They Live to be such a cult classic as it's going to be? And two, how many boys in the local business do you think are aware of the New World Order?
Great questions.
Good job. What was the first one again?
Well, we're going to go to break, but answer the first one. Did you think that They Live was going to be so huge?
My iron body is invincible, so beware.
At the time, I didn't think it would stand this test.
Ready.
We're going to come back, and only got like 6 minutes left on the other side, then we'll let them go, because the show's going to be over here. Get into World War III with Syria, we're talking about They Live, but that's kind of fitting, because it gets us thinking. 25th anniversary, you can go to rowdypiper.com, and you can see all the great info that he's got right there on the site. We'll be right back. My body was minerals and trace elements as well as half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine.
You stand in my way.
And really, when I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. That's results. I'm looking out for my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and order 3 of their products. And you will see the changes. The way you look, your appetite, almost everything. Start your journey with wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com.
And kick ass. All out of moment.
By the way, Julie Wilson, one of our writers, just ran in here and she saw the clip. Rush Limbaugh came out today and said he thinks it's a false flag attack in Syria staged by Obama. That story's going to go up on Infowars.com. We get the video clip. Nobody else has it. We're going to be breaking that coming up at Infowars.com the next 20 minutes. We're going to post an article with all that information there. I want to take a few final calls here with our amazing guests that we both have, Sean Stone and Rowdy Piper, here with us. But, wow, what do you make, Mr. Piper, about having, like, all these mainstream people now say they think the whole thing in Syria staged by the rebels, this video of it. I mean, it's amazing to see everything we've talked about, Sean Stone and I and others, getting out just mainstream. Do you think the world is putting on the black sunglasses more and more?
Oh, cow. I think that, I think the world, you know what, I think the world, the real men of the world have to stand up and say, I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum. Time to take it down. You know what? You got a little courage. Stand up for yourself. Baby Jesus. Oh, a bunch of sniveling whiners that they were in Syria. But I'm not qualified. I just know who are you going to send over there? Why don't the Chinese help? What is the UN doing? And I saw these pictures. I'm not qualified, but I got 14. And I got real angry.
Now, they're trying to bunch our buttons, but, man, Rush Limbaugh coming out saying it's a false flag. Wow. I mean,
it's a ratings ploy.
Yeah. You know, Sean, that's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
That's a huge deal, Limbaugh saying it, which, well, then you brings to the fact that, you know, how can you sell the idea of the Assad government using chemical weapons when it's been leaked for months that the U.S. has been trying to sell chemical weapons and send them there as for a false flag purpose? I mean, it's almost like the conspiracy is becoming more and more flagrant in advance, right? People can see it coming, the stories being reported. So you can't, you know,
absolutely
keep it contained. What are you going to do?
Listen, I don't want to hog the show. We got like 3 minutes left. RowdyPiper.com. Got links to his Twitter up there. Just amazing. I was talking to Rowdy earlier. He said he'll come on every once in a while with us. We're very honored to have him here on the show and honored to know that he's a fan of our work. We're incredible fans of his. Real fast callers. You got quick questions. Ryan in Missouri, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen. In They Live, they had the underground tunnel system, underground base system. My question is, some people think that Denver International is like some super secret base, spaceport, whatever you guys want to call it.
There's giant underground bases everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess my question is, do you think it's, you know, like the movie they say it's almost like Alien, I mean, I guess Roddy already answered that, but does he think that, does he put two and two together like that?
I know exactly what you're talking about in Denver, and then they had a huge portrait from like the Holocaust to chemical weapons, and then they took the picture down. So I understand what you're saying. Again, they hired those guys.
Well, Sean, I bet you know about those meetings.
I haven't been invited yet, but I think it's time he and I do a movie. And then we'll go chew gum together. Have some fun.
Well, folks, Rowdy, Sean, stay there. I'm going to say bye to you at the end of the show. This has been an amazing interview. Thank you both for your time. And, Mr. Piper, it's good to know you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Wow. Wait, sorry to the other callers. We're out of time. Now the news tonight, 7 o'clock Central. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow live, 11 a.m. Central on the radio.
Fight.
Now you can watch it.
Balance of the hour, we're joined here by Sean Stone, who really doesn't need any introduction. I've been on the show 7-8 times over the years. Got a chance to get to know him well working on the Jesse Ventura last season. And, of course, also the work his dad's done with films like JFK and so many others. But his father recently, in fact, I forgot to tell you guys to pull the clip up of you have it, you remembered, in Japan. That's not why I got him on, but it's interesting saying Obama is a snake, time to turn on him. Again, that's something that a lot of the progressives and real liberals don't have the nerve to do, but Sean Stone does. As really a historian, he's got his award-winning series on history. But usually when I get Sean Stone on, it's not about his dad, because he's done a lot of stuff on his own right. And I'll imagine down the road when my son's doing interviews, he'll be sick of hearing about me. But that's newsworthy what your dad has said. I think that's a good segue into Syria, your take on the state of the world, Sean Stone. What do you make of your father's bold stance and why he said that?
Hey, Alex. I think he came to the realization in the course of this history series as to what Obama's really about. We said it last year, you and I, when we did the Impeach Obama video. And actually, I wanted to reiterate the fact that, remember, in the Impeach Obama video, we started out by saying that Congressman Walter Jones said that if Obama commits us to war in Syria without going through Congress, he should be impeached, and that was 1 year ago. So it's important to remind people that we were on point then, and it's still relevant, and it's still a relevant source for people to go to and look at is the Impeach Obama 2012 video, or go to the Impeach Obama 2012. So I think now even more 1 year later, we were a little bit ahead of the curve there. So now, people like my father are coming out and saying it. I think many people feel that way more and more, probably from both left and right.
You're absolutely right, and Walter Jones is coming on later in the week. He does have that bill introduced. I think this is a sea change moment where the establishment is really being seen for what they are, where the public is taking the red pill, are putting on the sunglasses like if they live.
Like if they live, exactly, which we'll get into soon. But yeah, that's why, Tyrell Ventura, Jesse Ventura's son, and I have been working on this show called Buzzsaw, which we feel is a continuation of conspiracy theory, because as you know, Tyrell and I took over a lot of the duties on conspiracy theory in the last season of doing the interviews while Jesse was unable to travel. And so now on this Buzzsaw, we kind of do our alternative media, like kind of with the guests that we want to bring on. We have interviews, and it's once a week on usually on the weekends. But that's getting that's growing and following, and hopefully the point is that shows like yours, like ours, alternative media in general, are keeping a lot of good news. The point is that people, the United States, are just not realizing the fact, the amount of that they have been, let's say, the they live phenomenon of putting the sunglasses on. American people don't realize how much that has occurred to them. You see, we don't get to travel as easily. We're cut off from the rest of the world for the most part. So we don't have that interaction, whereas, in Europe you can travel very easily from country to country within a couple hours. The Middle East is very close by. You get access to Russian Today, Al Jazeera, alternative media sources, BBC, that gives different points of view. Here in America, we're very cut off, so I think the point is for the internet and alternative media to get across, to get people to know what's really happening in the world and how much the media really is what controls our perception of reality.
And so we need to become the media create art and information and analysis from a truthful perspective to counter the lies. If we all just start doing it, it's over. And by the way, I've seen some of your shows on Buzzsaw. Very, very interesting. Tell folks about that.
Well, Buzzsaw is sponsored by the Lip.tv, which is an online, I guess you'd say, online studio. So the Lip, came to us and just said they're doing talk shows. They want, talk-oriented content. And obviously with the Entire Revolution tonight, we're talking to people. We'll get there. We want to talk about conspiracies. We want to, the Snowden case and the Bradley Manning case by speaking with Daniel Ellsberg, for example. We talked to Jeremy Scahill about the 30 Wars. We talked to the UFO phenomenon and talked to people like Steve Bassett, who's sponsoring the Citizens Hearing on Disclosure on aliens, bringing 40-plus people from the military, from all walks of government life to talk about their encounters with some kind of UFO phenomenon or strange anomalies. So we get into all these different...
We're doing a lot of interesting stuff. Wow, yeah. Sean Stone joins us right now. I want to play this clip since we mentioned it of your father just a few weeks ago in Japan speaking out and saying it's time to turn on Obama. Here's that clip.
Obama is a snake. He's a snake. We have to turn him. He likes snakes, but...
That's the short clip. Everybody's probably seen the long clip. It's up on Infowars.com. We played it a few weeks ago. But the point here is that the reason you got to turn on Obama is he's the more effective of evils. He's able to sell the globalist agenda, whereas the stuffy George Bush or Bill Clinton couldn't do it as well. It's the cult of Obama that is being destroyed. Do you agree with that, Sean Stone? Let's talk about the latest developments in Syria.
Yeah, 100% I agree. I think the point is that he's the great deceiver, and that's why people, have called him the Antichrist or whatnot, because he's the one who promises hope and change, but he comes from a completely deceptive point. In fact, I believe that he's either under hypnosis or I'm pretty sure, 100% sure he uses hypnosis in his speeches.
Oh, he does NLP. That's on record.
Yeah, 100%. But whether or not he himself is hypnotized or under mind control, that's another possibility. And I'm not entirely sure what he is, because to me, Obama is a phenomenon that doesn't exist. Nobody knows who he is.
No one knows who he is, yeah.
Very important. Almost like Hitler, if you think about the context of someone that. Again, always they bring foreign entities, don't they? Whether it's a Georgian taking over Russia, whether it's Napoleon Bonaparte, of course, taking over France, whether it's Hitler from Austria taking over Germany, Obama the United States taking over the United States. It's interesting to see the similarities historically. One thing with our history is that he has, as Hitler does, Obama has this tremendous ability to make people listen and believe him when he speaks. And it's a very persuasive form of hypnosis that he uses, and far more dangerous than Bush's, because Bush just was basically a jackass, and he knew it, and he spoke that way, and you knew what it was. You knew the quantity that it was. Obama, you don't really know how evil this guy can get.
Very well said. I see this as the Matrix collapsing, or as I said, putting the sunglasses on like they live, that we'll talk about with Mr. Piper coming up there in the next hour. But, I can't believe that it's all over the news, false flag. Not just Ron Paul, Rand Paul, or Pat Buchanan, but all these other hosts are saying, and all these analysts are saying, and every military officer I talk to, on or off record, says false flag, and we don't want to work with Al-Qaeda. I've never seen such a rout. And a month ago, the Pentagon came out and said, we're losing the info war. No one believes us. This really is amazing.
I think, Alex, to be honest with you, I think this gives credit to the movement that you, my father, Jesse Ventura, and I, well, whatnot, I'm a continuation of Tyrell Ventura, the continuation of...
All of us together.
This has all been building towards, is that since the point that we became aware that the New World Order was a real phenomenon, and these guys, have had this long-term agenda of shifting America away from the Republic into this imperial world policeman, which most Americans do not want to see, right? Many real Americans don't want to see the United States becoming the world policeman. As we've seen this world order phenomenon, take place, there's many others who are looking for. And the fact is that it's like the collective consciousness is kind of, I believe, shifting, and people are starting to wake up, and it's like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, and that's where we are now, is that point of, we're not going to be, you can't keep fooling the American public.
I agree with you. So what do you expect to happen now, short-term, mid-term, long-term? I think they're going to do everything they can to try to put us back in the box, but every day I look at, there's no way they're going to end up beating this in the end. It's going to get really nasty, but I don't see them winning.
I don't see them winning. And the Iranians, you don't know what they're going to do, right? Will they just war against Israel or whatnot? The point is that you get a conflagration. If the Russians, and what I'm saying is, if the Russians are longer involved in the Middle East because of Syria, right? You have now World War III taking occurring. Whether it becomes nuclear or not, we don't know.
Stay there. Let's talk about what all the experts are saying. I agree with you. That's why Dempsey's telling Obama not to do it. And Dempsey's known to be a warmonger, by the way. They kept getting rid of chairmen to get somebody to go along with it, and now Dempsey's getting all the intel and goes, no. Because, folks, Assad's going to pull out all those Russian weapons and just start blasting Israel. Then Israel's going to take the gloves off. All hell is going to break loose. Johnny Appleseed was born during the Revolutionary War. It's not just a Russian. And in more than 5 states, apples that have not even been grown in the colonies. The seeds from plants he planted varieties he developed spread across the United States. And it was Johnny Appleseed teaching the colonists and then the new Americans, after we won independence, the love of planting fruit trees that introduced that idea to North America. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a revolutionary act. To unplug the computer and all the long ways and to go out your backyard, the planters of your apartment, move the weather, and to plant a garden. The Johnny Appleseed of your community will see you from the Informal Seed Center at InfoWarsStore.com. The simple act of planting vegetables, tending them, and taking care of them, and then sharing them with friends and family is a revolutionary act. The globalists, first and foremost, do not want us to be self-sufficient. The crony, anti-free market capitalists, the fascists, are using socialism and to shut down societies. Stalin in Ukraine and other areas starved out more than 10 million people over 5 years by not letting them grow their own
Congratulations.
and collectivizing. Now killed between 65 million and 80+ million people doing the same thing. The UN says they will use food as a weapon. They use genetic evil to attack the earth, and major GMO companies have been caught going into growth belts around the world, even where GMO is illegal, and planting seeds everywhere to infect the genetics of the original crops. Almost all of the thousands of varieties of Mexican corn has been infected. They are in a genetic war against everyone. That's why we have to get these seeds and not just plant them on our own gardens and not just give them as gifts to friends and family to plant spring and summer and fall gardens. I'm calling on you to go out into the green belts, to go out to the areas and plant secret gardens. No, not of marijuana, but of the hundreds and hundreds of incredible high-quality vegetables and herbs and fruit plants that are here. Lemons and oranges, the list goes on and on. They will grow, plum trees, grape trees, they will grow almost everywhere in the U.S. We can literally, not just buying these products from InfoWarsStore.com, but from wherever you get them. This aggressive program literally just came to me one morning when I opened about 4 a.m., realizing that we've got to counter their genetic war against us with original, real crops developed over eons on this planet. We have the lowest prices. We bought it in the biggest bulk that some of these companies have ever seen to ship this directly to you from the InfoWars Command Center. We stand for life. We stand for liberty. We stand for self-sufficiency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com, click on the Seed Center, and as of taping this, we have the 7 top respected brands. We intend to continue to do research and find other companies, other specialties, other varieties to really take action.
The InfoWars Store Seed Center has the largest online selection of heirloom, non-GMO seeds.
Check out these products from our newest supplier, Heirloom Organic.
the medicine garden for a natural remedy.
The tea garden that contains every important tea herb you can grow.
Fruit lovers with 12 varieties.
And the tobacco pack, additive and pesticide free.
Join the gardening revolution today at InfoWarsStore.com.
Is that a revolutionary action we're asking you to take? Plant seeds everywhere today. Nurture them, bring them to fruit, and pass on the knowledge to others. Become human again. Discover your roots in the soil. And remember, the revolution against tyranny is growing. Sean Stone is our guest, documentary filmmaker, actor in his own right, obviously going to work with his father as well, Oliver Stone. We've got the man. I tell you, since I was a teenager watching They Live, I wanted to get Roddy Piper on, and he's going to be coming on the show, I don't know, for 30, 45 minutes coming up in the next hour, and I promise we'll get to the active duty and former military, Steve and John and Will and Mike and Jeff, everybody else that's on here. We're going to